So you want your life to change, huh? Well, go out there and change it. Go make something of yourself. That's easier said than done now, isn't it? Many people think that their lives will change for the better if they just change locations, or they change jobs and careers, or they change the route to work. They change their lifestyle. They even change their hairstyle. And, well, these things can be beneficial and they can be fulfilling for a time. But all these changes, well, they all come with their own set of problems and setbacks. These changes may help make change work for you, but over time, the change that you sought after is fleeting as you realize that something else needs to be done for that change that you've made takes hold and lasts lifelong. Now, many people go looking for change outside of themselves. I know I sure did. And yes, that is important. If you just go looking to the outside of your life and make changes there, you'll find some growth and you'll find some good things, but you will also discover that some way, somehow, those old lifestyle patterns that you left behind will follow you and change the changes you made to create that desired life. New Year's is upon us, and many of us are desperate for a change. We need a change. We cannot do another repeat of 2021 or 22. We just can't. Living the life of a Groundhog's Day is over. And we've all had enough. Many of us want to go back to the old ways before some of those major changes in life happen to all of us worldwide. But we can't go back. We can never, ever go back. And I'm not sure that I personally want to go back. Too much has happened and too much has been exposed. It would be too difficult to just blindly and willfully forget the situations we all have experienced and the things that we have all seen. It's just not possible to retreat back to the time of where things seemed to be okay. The truth is, things were never okay, and these past few years exposed us to that. What these past few years have exposed is what we have been doing in the past did not work for our future. Now that we have caught up to the future we carved out for ourselves back then is crumbling at our feet. That's because you can't make changes on the outside of your life expecting things to be better and stay better in the here and now. Change cannot just come from outside of ourselves. There has to be another kind of change, and the other kind of change has to be made in here, from the heart first, and then we can adapt our outwardly lifestyles to accommodate our inner being. Take New Year's resolutions, for example. The one common resolution is to lose a specific amount of weight in a specific amount of time. When January 1 comes around, that usually is a marker of our first day of making change happen. We exercise, not really understanding the exercise we are performing, and we diet and minimize our food intake, not really understanding why we are minimizing our food, and not really knowing why we are choosing specific foods over others. We just do things we see other people do, or what the experts tell us, and that's not good enough. That's no longer serving us, because Just because we see a glowing fit figure on the package of a diet regime that we've bought into doesn't mean that it works for everybody, and it doesn't mean that it's going to work for us. Superficially, yes, but have you ever asked yourselves why diets and exercise routines don't work over long term? No one told us that this diet thing takes work and dedication. And many of us don't have the time for this kind of stuff. We're hoping for a quick fix, and only after a few weeks or two, we're hoping that we will see our trim and fit body. Some people are looking for a diet pill instead because exercise is just too much work. And by the end of January, people are so far away from their goal, it isn't even funny. They beat themselves up emotionally, and they'll say, oh, I'll try next month, when my life slows down more. Or they say, I guess that diet was the wrong one for me to try. Or they say, I guess dieting isn't for me. I'm the way I am, and I'm just going to have to accept my extra weight. And others will have to accept that also. The people that sold you on the diet and exercise did not explain anything of value to you. They preyed upon your ignorance of not knowing your personal needs from within here. And your personal needs in here has nothing to do with your physical body. Diet and exercise deal with your body, yes. And diet and exercise also deal with your weight, yes, but superficially. And diet and exercise deals with your body much in the same way changing jobs, taking a vacation, making a move, relocating to a new town. These things deal with your life on a superficial level. If you want change to really make a difference in your life, a permanent difference that gives your life meaning, then it's important to address the real issues to the reason why you need that change. Why do you need a new job? Why do you need to relocate? Why do you want to diet and exercise? The symptoms may be because you have a failing health. However, in order to address that failing health, you need to address the root issues of your eating habits, as your eating habits are the cause of why you may need to lose weight and keep it off and stay trim and healthy. The same thing goes with changing a career or changing location. You got to deal with the root reason why you want these things. Because the reason why you want a new job, you want a new home, you want that vacation, it's that you do need a change, yes. However, catering to these things to satisfy the outside of your life is a very superficial attempt at problem solving deeper issues. To make changes on the outside of your life, to make those changes stick, it's important to make the changes within you firstly. Looking at the obvious may sound like a good idea. Maybe you don't get along with your boss, and others are not seeing your value at work. Maybe you're being taken advantage of. Maybe a nice getaway will help you de-stress. These are all good reasons, good things to change in your life. These are things that do need to be addressed by your life, absolutely. However, there is a deeper reason why you desire these things, and the reason why you need a change is because you're not being fulfilled and satisfied, as what your current life standard isn't serving you. Many of us find ourselves drained in life because we are too focused on other people. Instead of giving some of that energy we give to others, we neglect to give it to ourselves. The reason why we're looking for change is because we are neglected. We assume that life and society, people, friends, and family are neglecting us, when the truth is, we have been neglecting ourselves, and our inner beings is screaming at us, change the status quo. And we kind of hear that cry in the dark, but without knowing where that cry in the dark is coming from exactly, we just go along assuming that changes can be made from a perspective of tangible perception. This kind of behavior extends into our relationships as our way of thinking contributes and endorses the toxicity of the narcissist. Ouch. I know, I went there. It needs to be said. Please hear me out just for a minute. If you want to heal, and I know you do, you have to get honest with yourself. And that is what this video will do. You're going to learn how to get honest with yourself in a very loving way, I promise. Before we get to the really amazing, deep, and wonderful insight, as I've already put this into practice and I'm feeling wonderful because of it, this insight will lead to your healthy inner transformation that will allow you to make necessary changes in your life on the outside, because you begin making the changes on the inside first. It's important to address this topic of being too agreeable to the narcissist because it's all relative in your life. I'm not singling anyone out here. Those who have New Year's resolutions are also too agreeable to the conflict and are not assertive enough in their own resolve to know how to solve their issues on their own. We all need help, yes. But as we say, same shit, different pile. Any dilemma, any problem, any toxic individual, any toxic relationship, any toxic job, any toxic environment, any conflict that you find yourself in that directly involves you, as you are personally invested in the conflict, you need to find some resolution. And by you being personally involved, well, you have been creating the problem, and you are part of the problem instead of part of the solution, directly or indirectly. And this channel is all about you taking responsibility for the thoughts and feelings and actions that you need to own. As you have learned, the reason why we attract the narcissists or bad things into our lives is because we're too agreeable. We don't have those healthy boundaries in place, and the same goes for those resolutions and for other conflicts in our lives. Problems come from not having healthy boundaries in place, and this video is going to get to the heart of the problem by sharing with you how you can have healthy boundaries simply by loving yourself, and I'm going to show you how you do that in this video. So how do we get healthy boundaries in the first place? Well, I'm going to show you the easiest and most simplistic way to do that honors you while helping you to discover the one thing that you are lacking in your life right now: self-love. So what does self-love look like? Well, I can explain it to you as I have in other videos, but in this video, I have something spectacular that I'd like to show you, if I may. This explanation involves hands-on experience, so I'd like us to take a little journey together if you are willing. It's a journey of self-awareness that I guarantee after you experience this thought experiment with me, you will understand what self-love looks like and feels like from your perspective, because you not only will be able to see it you'll be able to feel it. And that feeling is everything. That feeling you will feel during this exercise is the answer to the questions you have about life, such as, why isn't life working for you? Why can't you get a break in that job, in that career, in your relationships? And why can't you find that ideal partner or that ideal job in your life? Like, why isn't life throwing you that bone? All your questions will be answered in this thought experiment. So would you like to participate in this with me? Great. Okay, first things first. Find a comfortable sitting position. Make sure that you won't be distracted by noise. Now, if you're comfy, take a deep breath in and breathe out and just close your eyes and just sit quietly for a moment. Just focus on your breathing. Breathe in and out. Now, with each breath that you take in, you feel the energy circulating through your body as you inhale. And as you exhale, you relax your tense muscles. Everyone relaxes at their own pace. So I'm just going to give you a few moments of silence for you to allow yourself to just focus on your breathing and relax. If you have thoughts that come in, just allow them to gently pass by as your thoughts speak to you. Observe them, but do not help your thoughts out by finding a solution. Do not use your mind speak. That's talking to yourself in your inner mind. Don't answer any of your thoughts. Just simply breathe. And as you exhale and inhale and you focus your attention on your breathing, your thoughts will fade as you concentrate on the sound of the circulating energy with every inhale and exhale. So let's just take a few minutes now to do just that. Now that you are relaxed, I would like you to imagine yourself sitting in a chair in a delivery room at a hospital. The delivery bed is still messy with the powder blue sheets and white clean clinical sheets over top. You are sitting in a chair, quietly waiting. And you see a nurse standing on the other side of the door as you notice her look down as you look through the glass of the door. She uses her backside to push the door open towards you as she is holding someone in her arms. You look at the nurse and you look at who she is holding. She is holding a tiny newborn baby. This baby is quiet and silently sleeping in her arms. And the nurse smiles at you and walks over to you to hand this baby over to you. Now, as you cradle your arms naturally, the nurse gently deposits the baby into your arms. With your arms, I would like you to right now make the gesture of holding a newborn baby. Keep your eyes closed and allow your arms to feel an immediate warmth as the baby fits snugly in your embrace. The baby stirs a little, and you softly whisper, "Shh." And you look over at the little newborn. He or she is just so tiny, and they are wrapped up tightly and comfortably in their blanket. They are wearing a little white hospital cap to keep their head warm. Their eyes are closed, and this baby looks so peaceful. This presence of this baby is giving you warm, fuzzy feelings inside, as this baby looks so sweet, adorable, and precious. This baby warms your heart. You hope you can hold this baby for a long time as you feel you are bonding in real time with this baby. The nurse tells you that you have all the time you need in this room. This room is a quiet spot for you and the baby. The nurse asks you if you have given this baby a name. You didn't realize that you were able to name this child, and the nurse tells you, of course you can. This baby is yours. This baby is you. This baby is you. You look at this baby and you notice that he or she looks exactly like you. This baby has your ears, the shape of your eyes, your eyebrows, your lips, even the soft button nose. This baby now looks so familiar to you. This baby is you, and you are holding you for the first time ever. You are this baby's first bond, and you look at this baby and you are so amazed. Look at how tiny I am, you whisper. You are so amazed at this precious gift. Your heart is bursting, squishing, oozing love for this baby as you whisper. The baby softly stirs. Again, you shh. It's okay. You're safe. And you say your baby's name out loud. Do this in real time. Tell your baby, it's okay. Sleep. You are safe. I got you. I will take care of you. I love you, my sweetheart. Say this out loud to yourself with your eyes closed and with the feeling of tenderness and the love and the great joy and humbleness as you cradle your arms as if holding a baby in real time. Your eyes are leaking, aren't they? This is such a precious moment for all of us. This is such a loving moment for you. So how do you feel? Maybe a little bit overwhelmed with love in this moment? Sit with it. I'll give you and yourself some time to bond in silence. Shh. The nurse comes into the room to check on you two. She wakes you up and tells you it's time to feed your baby. The nurse hands you a bottle and you place it into your baby's mouth, and your baby gently sips. This is your moment now to share with your baby. Bless your baby. Bless your baby's name. Offer encouragement to your child, to you, as this child in your arms represents your inner being, your inner child. Your baby doesn't need to know all the bad things that happened in your life. Instead, encourage them with love. Impart the love you have for them with your words. Let your heart connect with theirs as you draw your baby to your chest, holding your child in an upright position as you gently pat them on the back, holding their neck as your hand gives their head support, as you gently try to get your baby to burp or hiccup. You tell them that they are the most precious, important person in your life. You love them and you will always be with them. You were so happy they are with you. Now feel your words. Take them into your heart. Embody that love. Feel that love and let it become who you are with every breath you take. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Let your adult self feel the love that you have for the newly born you. There is nothing like this feeling of love on earth. You can't get this from anyone else. It's sacred, and you have finally found what you have been missing all your adult life. This love is complete, and it makes you feel whole. This love is bonding, and it is trusting. The words that you say to your inner child in this moment are extremely clear. They're direct, and they are the most honest you have ever been with yourself. You in this moment know that this love is protecting and not forsaking. It is a love that can never be severed or forgotten ever again. Aw, your baby burps. And so the nurse takes your child from your arms just to give you two a rest. This love is so new. It's a feeling that encompasses you and overwhelms you, but it's so refreshing and overpowering at the same time. You can't let it go. You won't let it go. This love that you feel is here to stay. You are blessed as this love that you feel blesses you, as you are also love's blessing. You are now forever connected to yourself through the beauty of love. Let this feeling surround you. Let it protect you. Let it guide you. Let it make your decisions for you, as love always has your best interests. Now, when you open your eyes, allow this feeling of love to take you to thoughts that serve you now and your future. Whenever someone robs you of your peace, you now have something to fall back on. Think back to this moment, as this is where your joy began. Your birth is a blessing, as love is a blessing to you, and the love you give yourself and allow yourself to feel is a blessing to others also. This has been a thought exercise of remembering who you are. So please, open your eyes. How do you feel? Comment down below. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, goodness me. Wow. Are you ready for part 2? Yeah, there's a second part to this. When a child is born, we give them praise. Through the words we speak to them, we lovingly offer them our worship. We humbly bless them through the thoughts and feelings we impart to them with the words that we speak. The child does nothing, and the moment that the child comes into our lives, we, through our actions, worship them humbly. We know where they have come from. They are a creation of God. We know that they have come from heaven. So then, why do we fail to remember that someone once treated us this way with blessings in love and kindness and mercy, compassion, when we were first newly born? When we were fresh out of the womb, a family member, a friend, a family, even a passerby offered us kind words spoken deliberately from their heart to ours, using their words to direct our hearts. That was a blessing to us. Now, we are never told of our first moments of life, our first months or years on earth. Usually we are told about the misbehaving we did as we grew. Maybe you were born premature, maybe you were born with a hernia, or maybe some other physical anomaly. Maybe you were adopted early on in your infancy. Those things don't matter. It does not matter what bad things or transitory or transitionatory situations you have gone through. The first few moments of your life were the most meaningful, as the words spoken to you settled in your heart. Those words spoken to you were meant to guide you and keep you focused on your life's purposeful meaning as you journeyed on in this life. The thought experiment that you just went through with me was meant to help you get back to your roots, to rekindle the love inside of yourself, to help you acquaint you, with the love you have been created with, unconditional love. There is nothing that you can do on earth to acquire unconditional love. You can't earn it, as your existence is what drives unconditional love and bolsters it to call to action over your life. Your eyes can't be blue enough, your body in proportion enough, your mind developed enough. Before you came out of your mother's womb, you were unconditionally loved. You can't change that fact, and you cannot change your Father in Heaven's mind on this. Oh no. What is done is done. He loved you when you were an inspired thought, and you were created because of his love that is not dependent on any conditions. You being alive during these tumultuous times in 2022, almost 2023, this does not diminish the unconditional love. Our Father in heaven did not say, no, I'm going to hold off creating you until the world fixes its problems. You're just too precious. You're a precious son or daughter of mine, and you don't deserve to be here and go through this. No. I've got something reserved for you in a different time zone. No, no, God doesn't think like that. In fact, you were created for this time zone. You were created for a specific purpose because you were created in unconditional love. And that unconditional love is for you. Yes, and once you find it, you hold on to it and allow it to become your state of being. Because that love is exactly why God chose you to live in this topsy-turvy timeline today. The love that you have, that unconditional love, That's what is needed to clean up this God-forsaken world today. The unconditional love, the non-judgmental attitude that you carry that allows you to offer help when someone is in need is what God created you for, my friend. You are a representation of Him. You're a representative of heaven on earth. And once you discover your worth by allowing yourself to feel love for yourself, there's no going back. And I hope that this experiment did just that for you, to help you feel the love that's already inside of you, that you can tap into. That self-love is protecting. As love covers all wrongs, when you feel this love and allow it to embody you, your trauma weakens. The emotional pain is soothed and pacified appropriately. So get comfy, as I'm about to explain some scientific fact to you about the human body, and then we will apply this knowledge in another thought experiment. Are you ready? Oh, before we dig into the science, I'd like to ask you, if you like this video so far, please give it a like, as this allows others to see this video. This allows the YouTube algorithms to put this video up front and center to those who appreciate videos like this, and for those who need to see videos like this. We all want the world to be a better place. We can do that by spreading the love. Like this video and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. This shows YouTube that this channel is highly valued. So thank you very much for helping this channel grow. Now, have you heard the term laying on of hands? It's a term used to denote an impartation of the Holy Spirit, healing, to offer someone your spirit and your energy through the touching of hands. Now, science shows us that humans and all life interact through energy with one another, as science can also show that energy flows into and out of the hands. Now, what the Bible calls spirit, science calls energy. We receive energy with the left palm of our hand, and we give energy with the right palm of our hand. Get this, God says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. When you hold a baby, the baby's head usually rests in the bend of your elbow. And when you feed the baby a bottle with your dominant hand, usually that's your right hand, the right hand gives that milk energy. When you burp your child, your dominant hand gently pats the child on the back, while your other hand rests on the back of the neck. There is a natural receiving and giving process here through the delicate, tender touch of the hands on your baby. And science can tell us that when you place your hand on the back of the neck of your baby is receiving energy at the base of the neck, where the reticular activating system is located. What is that? Well, everyone has one of those. It's a little bit difficult to say reticular activated system. It's a system of unique nerve fibers contained within the nervous system that are bundled together and are located at the base of the brainstem. The reticular activated system is in control of many body functions, as this is the sweet spot where most information is passed to the brain. The reticular activated system filters information that directs us to pay attention to some stimuli while disregarding other stimuli. The RAS, or reticulated activating system, creates an environment where we focus on things that we want while we ignore the things around us that we don't want. What holds our focus we pay attention to, and thus the RAS determines how we or our children interact with our surroundings. This includes anything from reacting to noises and interacting with animals and friends and family members. The RAS brings experiences to us via the transference of energy, and it is those experiences we interact with negatively or positively that create a filter for the RAS to adhere to. It's interesting to note that recent studies on children who have ADD or ADHD have a low functioning RAS. A low functioning reticulated activating system is also linked to repeated ear infections in children. It is estimated that approximately 95% of children who have inner ear problems or multiple ear infections in their youth might also suffer from learning disabilities such as dyslexia, allergies, and childhood trauma. The reticular activating system stimulates the area of the child in their physical and cognitive development. A child who has an issue with fidgeting and can't sit still might be overstimulated in their RAS, and this is where introversion or extroversion, that type of behavior, is actually created. So if you notice these signs in your child, you might be dealing with an underdeveloped reticular activating system. These signs are: the child seems clumsy, they bump into furniture and they're always stubbing their toe and falling down. They seem to not have their balance in control. And this isn't just some of the time, this is frequently. Another sign is that the child has difficulty maintaining their balance and coordination, and they have no filter for respecting someone's personal space. You know those little toddlers that come up to strangers in a crowded room or a grocery store? Yeah, the reticulated activating system might have something to do with that. And so here's something else that also is a precursor for an underdeveloped RAS that most of us did when we were in school. When a child balances their chair on two legs and fidgets their legs under their desk, and here we thought sitting in our chairs with the legs off the ground was an act of defiance. I know adults who still do this and are as fidgety as heck, and they just can't sit still. Oh my goodness, it's annoying. Now here's something about the brain that maybe you didn't know that's important for this topic. The human brain processes about 11 million bits of information per second. Out of those 11 million bits, your reticulated activating system is responsible for 8 million bits per second. When information When information gets passed through the RAS system, it is converted into conscious thoughts, emotions, and feelings in the cerebrum. So did you know that as a body's response to stress, we automatically put a hand to the back of our neck? Oh yeah, it's a soothing gesture. And oftentimes when we feel troubled or scared, concerned or worried, or even nervous, we cover or touch our necks. So just think about all this information that I've shared with you in this video up until this moment. The hands are energy centers of the body, where the right hand gives energy and the left hand receives energy. When we cuddle our newborns, we use our hands to hold the backs of their necks to support their head. When we are holding them, we are usually focused on their needs, as we are focused on sharing our heart with them. Our hearts are actually connected as the baby is touching our heart. We're heart to heart here in this loving embrace. We share our words, our heartfelt emotion, coming through the invocation of our words when we're comforting our newborn. This is a soothing touch with our hands, and we offer them loving support with not just our hands but our words. So here is another thought experiment. You ready? In your chair, adjust yourself to just sit comfortable. With your eyes closed, do your best to recollect the feelings you felt in the first exercise we just did. Recall the feelings of love you gave and received in the newness of that moment, looking at yourself as a newborn. Now, with your right hand, place your hand on the back of your neck and think about the feeling of what it feels to hear those words and feel them. Those words you genuinely spoke to yourself in the first thought experiment. Now place your hand on the back of your neck and clasp your hand like this, and rest them on the back of your neck in a relaxed state. And focus on the feelings of what it feels like to love yourself and emulate that love to the newborn child who is you. Oh, this feels good, doesn't it? Now I'm going to give you some time to just, with your eyes closed, repeat in heartfelt emotion what you said to the little mini you as a newborn babe in the first thought experiment. So here's something else. Now that you have told yourself all the loving things that you needed to hear or don't remember you were told as a newborn babe, I'd like you to hold this feeling and begin to tell yourself all the things that you never remembered hearing. Tell yourself the pretty and wonderful, courageous things you needed to hear, but no one ever spoke them to you. Tell yourself and call yourself by name. I'll do this with you. Shannon, you are a wonderful soul. There is no one like you. You are talented, funny, courageous, beautiful, with a loving heart. Ooh, I can feel something going down my spinal cord. You are so sweet and kind, and God's people enjoy your company. I love being around you. I enjoy our time together, Shannon. I enjoy your creative spirit and your willingness to be open to try new things as God leads you. You are so giving, so smart, and I am so honored to be alive in this body in this timeline. I am so happy to meet others who share in the love that they have to give to you. I am so overjoyed that I was a thought in God's mind. I am forgiving of my family as I found my place of belonging. I am heaven's citizen, and for that I am so grateful. I am loved. I know I'm loved, and I love myself. I get to participate in heaven's joy every single day. And I am so grateful because this love never ends. It is non-judgmental. It is unconditional. And it makes me feel on top of the world. I feel lofty as I feel like I'm soaring on eagle's wings. Thank you, Shannon, for loving me. Thank you, Jesus, who lives in me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for I am called because I am chosen. Ah, how do you feel? I feel amazing. Oh my gosh. I actually, when I first started doing this with you guys, and this is the first time that I have done this, I felt some energy surge down my spinal column. Wow, it was amazing. And I felt my solar plexus tingle in delight. This was just so powerful and amazing, and I'm feeling warm. What just happened? I feel elated. I feel jubilant. So now that you have done this exercise, and what putting your hands on the back of your neck was meant to do was to circulate that loving energy through your body, through the reticulated activating system, because one hand gives energy, the other hand receives energy. So by you giving and receiving love to yourself through the neurons in the back of your brainstem, you are going to feel amazing and feel so empowered. Do this whenever you get a chance, as this will help your negative feelings become dormant and your positive feelings will become dominant and radiate from around you. I feel radiant right now. Who knew gestures of your hands were so important? It turns out that it is a common gesture to put our hands on the back of our necks and just relax for a few minutes. Like this. I mean, do you ever sit like this? You are a wonderful soul. There isn't anything that you cannot do. Jesus is within you as our Father in heaven holds you upright with his right hand. So you can do all things in Christ Jesus, who is your strength. So now, go make this day great. But before you go, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to this video. I love you.